على رسول الكريم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Unfortunately, last night we couldn't resume with our, you could say, the customary talks that we have been holding after Tarāwīḥ Ishā every night this Ramadhān, because the plan was for myself to deliver it, and the plan for most of you was to sit and listen. But unexpectedly, a brother told us that there's a situation or something's happened, so we have to leave the room. Now, this situation that took place, obviously we're all aware of this. There's many lessons we can learn from this. There's many lessons. And the main lesson that we can learn from this, or we can fit this into death, that death will be likewise. Because obviously my plan was to deliver the speech. Most of your plans were to sit and listen to the speech. But you got an unexpected call from a brother saying, we have to exit the room and we have to leave and we have to go downstairs, or we have to leave the masjid. Now this is exactly what's going to happen when we pass away, at the time of death. At the time of death, our plan will be to do something, or maybe prepare for something, maybe prepare for something for tomorrow. So we'll be indulged in preparation. Our mind will be somewhere else, thinking about the next hour, the next minutes, that I need to do this, I'm going to go there, I'm going to do this. But then what will happen? Unexpectedly, the angel of death will come. And the angel of death will just call and just take the soul away. And it won't even ask us, like yesterday or last night, we were asked to leave this room and leave the masjid. So it was our choice. But when the angel of death comes, he's not going to give us no choice. When the angel of death comes, he will take our soul, no matter our age, no matter who we are. That's it, our time is up. So it's unexpected. The time of death is unexpected. So when these type of situations happen in life, we should always try to take a positive lesson from it, or we should try to take reminders from these type of situations to help us become better individuals. Now, one of the verses that we recited in the Tarāwīḥ session was ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين. And in short, Allah the Almighty is telling us in this verse that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's the last of messengers. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the seal of all messengers. So just like when a document is finalized, by a government official, what does he do? He puts a seal of approval on the document, and that means it's finalized. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is the last of messengers. He's the seal of all messengers, meaning he was the final messenger. He was like the seal of approval by Allah the Almighty, sent down by Allah the Almighty. And he told us that there's going to be no prophets after me. He was the last of messengers. And that is why it comes in a narration by himself that La Nabiyya Ba'di. There's no prophets after me. No prophet, no messenger will come after me. Now, these type of fundamental tenets of Islam are important, and we need to put these fundamental tenets in the brains and hearts of our children as well, and we need to teach them and give them these teachings, because these type of teachings are being distorted on a daily basis. And the Prophet ﷺ prophesied that after me there will be people coming that will claim to be the Prophet. There will be many individuals that will claim to be the Prophet, but they won't be prophets. And we know of many that have come and gone, and they claim to be prophets. There's people in this day and age as well, or followers of people in this day and age, that claim to follow a prophet that came after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's a sad state of affairs, and we need to stay away from obviously such type of people, and we need to make sure that we don't become entrapped. And sometimes people think that we need to be tolerant when it comes to these type of things, but these are fundamentals of our religion, and we cannot be relaxed when it comes to fundamental tenets of our religion. And sadly, we live in times where our youngsters are being brainwashed. And for us parents or elders, we need to teach our youngsters from a young age, and we need to imprint in their hearts the tenets of Islam. Because if we don't, then there is fear that they could lose their religion. Especially in countries like this where Muslims are in minority, we need to make sure we educate our youngsters, we nurture them, we give them a good upbringing. And for that, you need to do it from a very young age. You can't think that when the child gets old, then I will start teaching him, I will start giving him more and more teachings of Islam. We have to do it from a young age. Why? Because whatever you teach the child at a young age, then the child takes it in. It's like a sponge. A sponge, when you put it under the tap, then it takes in all the water, it soaks in the water. But when the child gets older, then it's really hard to make the child understand certain things, or it's really hard to educate the child, because the child has been filled with so many things altogether in his life before. His brain and heart is filled with so many other things. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ mentions that أَلَا إِنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ لَمُضْغَةً, that in the heart, in the body, there's a piece of flesh. And if it stays sound, then the whole body stays sound. But if it stays corrupt, or if it becomes corrupt, then the whole body becomes corrupt. And what is that piece of flesh? That is the heart. The heart. The heart is the place where we take in things. And the reason I'm talking about the heart is because we also recited Surah Yasin. We also recited Surah Yasin. In tonight's recital, we recited Surah Yasin. And Surah Yasin, as we all know, is known as the heart of the Qur'an. It comes in a narration, إِنَّ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَلْبًا وَقَلْبُ الْقُرْآنِ يَاسِينَ, that everything has a heart, and the heart of the Qur'an is Yasin. Everything has a heart, and the heart of the Qur'an is Yasin. Now, just like humans, for them to live, they need a heart to live, because the heart pumps blood around the body. So obviously, without the heart, there's no pumping of blood around the body, and then the body becomes dysfunction and it doesn't operate properly. And then obviously the body just dies. So just like the human needs a body, likewise the human also needs a spiritual heart as well. Just like the human needs a heart, likewise the human needs a spiritual heart as well. Now the spiritual heart is Surah Yasin. Surah Yasin is the heart of the Qur'an, because the spirit of a human, the spiritual heart of a human is Iman. So if a person has Iman, then it is as if he's got a true spiritual heart. Now the reason Surah Yasin is known as the heart of the Qur'an is because it contains of topics that relate to fundamentals of Iman. So Imam Ghazali rahimahullah says that Surah Yasin has got topics in relation to the Tawheed, so basically the oneness of Allah. It's also got topics in relation to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so which is Risalah, and obviously we all know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last of messengers, like we highlighted at the start. And thirdly, the mention of Qiyamah and the Day of Judgment and the hereafter, our belief in the hereafter, that there's an afterlife. So once you are resurrected, you'll be resurrected in front of Allah, you will be accountable for your deeds, and then obviously there's a life after death as well, where you will either end up in Jannah, Allah grants Jannah to Firdaus, or you will end up in Jahannam, hell. So now these three topics are mentioned in Surah Yasin, and these three topics are from amongst the topics that are of fundamentals in Iman. So because of this, the Surah Yasin is known as the heart of the Qur'an, because it has the fundamental topics in relation to Iman. And obviously, alhamdulillah, we have got Iman, so this is like our spiritual heart. Now, Surah Yasin is a very important surah, because there's many narrations. Some scholars declare some weak, etc. as well, but there's narrations such as whoever recites Surah Yasin in the morning, then his activities throughout the day, they will be fulfilled in an easeful way or an easy way, and likewise in the night as well until the morning. So we need to make sure that our spiritual heart is intact, because the fundamental beliefs of our religion are those things that either keep us in religion or take us out of religion. And that is why we need to focus a lot on the heart. So when it comes to our youngsters, we need to teach them from a young age to make sure we fill their heart with good things, good morals, spiritual things, things that Allah the Almighty is happy with, and things that will keep them consistent on their faith until they pass away. I pray Allah the Almighty give us the ability to understand that Prophet Muhammad is the last of messengers, and no messenger and prophet will come after him. Yes, Prophet Ishā will come before the Day of Judgment, but he will come as a follower of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. I pray Allah the Almighty give us the ability to strengthen our spiritual heart. I pray Allah the Almighty give us the ability to understand the virtues of Surah Yasin. Amin wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala sayyidil mursaleen. اللهم بارك لنا في الموت وفيما بعد الموت. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا كريم. اللهم حاسبنا حسابا يسيرا. اللهم ألف قلوبنا. اللهم اصلح ذات بيننا. اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واجعلنا منهم. اللهم رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا الله.
D'accord. Sì, fa ancora il bine. Ok, sì, tomorrow. Oh,